Dreamers Welcome Podcast.
Dreamers Welcome Podcast. We back in the building live from Atlanta. I go by CEO PESO. Blessed and highly favored. Tuned in right now, man. Got some more women appreciation thing I got going on. Shouts out to my brother Preem setting it up. I would like for you to introduce yourself.
So my name is Kyisha Wright Lemon, owner, CEO of Shellys Right Choice Home Care in McDonough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we in McDonough, by the way, but I'm just used to saying Atlanta. The background look different. This is when I do my remote shooting, and I pull up anywhere I need to get it done. So I thank you for getting on. How you feeling?
Thank you. I'm feeling good.
Cool. Man, so this is a new one for me. I mean, obviously, I know your profession and everything, but I want to really tap into it, your feeling behind it, the importance of it. So first, let's just get it squared off. What is it that you actually do?
So I'm a registered nurse. Yeah, but under that umbrella, I have many titles.
Such as?
So I am a owner of a home care agency. I also have a nonprofit, Faith, Family, and Community Services. And I also am a travel nurse, which I do.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that.
Yeah.
Okay. So start off for the people who don't know who you are. Let's get a little bit of your background. Where you're from, your upbringing, and just how it was coming up when you was younger.
Okay, so like I said, well, I don't know if I said this, but born and raised in Philadelphia. That's where I come from, West Philadelphia. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
My bad, because I actually thought Will Smith, born and raised shit, but whatever. Yeah, West Philly. Okay.
Yes, and I went to Overbrook High School, like Will Smith. Okay.
Oh, word. How was that?
Will Chamberlain.
Do they show the appreciation of like Will Smith?
They do.
Will went to this school.
They do. They got like a whole like glass case and different donations that he's given over the years. So they do.
Was that inspiration to you? I mean, I'm sorry. Okay.
I didn't care nothing about Will. To be honest, at that age, I didn't care nothing about Will Smith.
Word.
No.
I'm just curious because that shit probably.
And I hate it if I said West Philly and people did the song.
I was about to. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not about to pull that shit off. I mean, but that's crazy because that's embedded. Like you hear West Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like if you watch that. Yeah. So, how was it? Just growing up there.
It was nice. So I grew up in a section called Winfield, and it's like a suburb of the West Philadelphia area.
Nice.
And so that's where my foundation came from. That's who raised me. That neighborhood there. My mom was born and raised there. Her and her sisters. So my aunts married their neighbors on the block. So we really are embedded in that community. So it was good. I grew up with all my cousins living down the street from me. Word. My grandmom and my grandmother-in-law, I guess you want to call her, down the street. It was my aunt's husband's mom. So we went from house to house all day.
Word. Yeah. So very family oriented.
Yes. Like, city. We rode bikes all day. Jump rope. Yeah. That's what we did.
So is that the origins, like your family too? Like it's mainly based in West Philly?
Yep.
Okay,
based in West Philly. My grandma grew up down the bottom. They call it the Black Bottom.
Why is that?
In Fairmount Park. So it was like a lot of Black people had transitioned there. So they called it the Black Bottom. Every year they have a Black Bottom picnic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a known thing. Like a tradition, ritual. Okay, cool. So as a young lady out there, like you said, you was riding bikes and everything and just the playful side. Before you got into what you do now, was there anything else that you had that you wanted to do in life before this came to be your career?
I can say when I was younger, I used to want to be a lawyer.
Right.
That's where I kind of wanted to go. I was a huge fan of Matlock. So I used to watch that.
The show? Okay, yeah.
Show.
Damn, all right.
I'm corny, but anyway.
Everybody had their show.
I used to watch Matlock. And so, but when I was 15, I started my first job working at a Jewish assisted living facility, or retirement community.
Okay.
And when I worked there for $5.15 an hour. And I worked in the kitchen. So we would get the food and we would do 2 dinner services.
Okay.
And the old Jewish people would leave us quarters for tips. We would collect the quarters. I was in, I think, 9th grade.
Was that the norm, or that sounds a little disrespectful? Like leaving quarter tips? Like that sound a little. Like, we didn't do a good enough job.
It was a norm. They kept their quarters. They say, and if they would leave $1, they would cash their dollars in for more quarters so they can have it for the next dinner.
That's crazy though, because
we was 14 and 15 working there. We walked all the way from Overbrook High School after school. It took us an hour and 20 minutes to get there.
Yo, walked.
We walked. Yes.
Yeah, that was cool. We had crazy stamina as children.
Yeah.
That for minimum wage.
Yeah.
But that was probably like a crazy check for at that
$125
age.
A week.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I took it to work me clothes.
Yeah. Period. I would expect like I got my first job. I think I was like 15. Barrow's Pizza. And I was working my ass off there, but like it was crazy. I was working like stupid hours at my age.
Yeah.
But shit like that just build up like why we work hard now.
Right.
We got into it early though.
So hard workers.
So was that something that your parents instilled in you to like get a job early on and just
No, my mom was really anti-job. She was all about, okay, you need to focus on going to school. You don't need to worry about making money.
Right.
But my stepfather, James, what they call him a Rastan, he's known in the West Philly area. My whole life, I just seen him get. You know, he always had nice cars. We lived in nice places. He took us shopping all the time. So he kind of lived that fast life when we was growing up. So I always wanted it.
So he instilled that you seen his lifestyle.
Yes.
Living how you want, getting what you want.
Putting in the work.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
Yep.
Okay. In between, like, because you here now, which I know that's a big gap. I don't know when you actually got here.
Yeah.
But, so when did the RN actually kick in of like you wanting to get into that?
Okay. So we had to step way back. So about 11th grade, I dropped out of high school, and just kind of see where I was going. I changed my religion. I became Muslim. And just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life at 17.
I gotta ask, why the dropout?
The dropout? I wanted to work. I felt like everything that they was teaching in school, I kind of pretty much knew. It was nothing they wasn't teaching me that was beneficial to what I was trying to do. So I was like, I don't need this. I was working.
So you dropped out confidently, like
yeah.
Was there any talks to your people that you was doing it? So how was that reaction?
My mom, she put me out. I was living on my own by that time anyway.
Really?
Yeah. So we had a big disagreement once I decided to become Muslim, and so I had left and moved to my dad's house. I stayed there for a little while, and
your real dad,
my biological dad.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm done. I'm a grown up. I need to figure out what I'm going to do, with my life. So I dropped out of high school, but as soon as I dropped out, I signed up to take my test for my GED. So I didn't just drop out and just right.
Shit. Yeah,
by that next month, I was done. I got my diploma the same time everybody who I was in school with walked across the stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you already just had a clear cut plan.
Right.
But I find that a little interesting at the same time because you said your mom was anti-job.
Yeah.
Dropping out is kind of drastic with...
Right.
You get what I'm saying, though?
Right.
You was a go-getter, but she still...
Yeah, because she saw the importance it was for me to get an education, She didn't really see everything... my plan, that I had.
Right.
So, mom and daughters at them teenage years is you at each other's head. You ain't trying to hear what she's saying, and she ain't trying to listen to you because she done been there and done that,
Yeah.
So, and me dealing with the wrong people, dating the wrong people. So, she was just.
But where did you develop that independent mind state? Like, when did that develop so early? Like, man.
I gotta tell you, my mom. Really? My mom had me at 16.
Okay.
And my mom at 16, I want to say I was maybe 2. she moved out from my grandma's house and we moved to North Philly. And we was staying at her girlfriend's house in the back room. And
you remember this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And ever since then, my mom never turned back. She always, we never been without. No matter how she had to get it, she got it. Yeah. Always.
But it's because it's crazy at the same time, like she was on some go-getter shit, motivation, but then she like, fuck that. Even though it looked like you got it together, she's still like,
you need to go to school. Yeah, you need to go to school. You need to do this. Yeah. Because my mom didn't go to college. My dad didn't go to college. I don't even know if my dad finished high school.
Right.
I honestly don't even know if my mom finished high school, honestly. So it wasn't like a big thing. Like I didn't grow up seeing like people graduating and finishing out and things like that, you know.
I can agree.
Yeah.
I think my mom did graduate, but you know, she was doing like all the trade school stuff and everything. Right. And that's what I remember vividly, like work. Like we grew up like, all right, 15 and a half, like, okay, get your 14 and a half, get a job, 15 and a half. Nah, you're gonna learn how to drive. 16, we got our license. So it's kind of like shit. I don't want to say I grew up too fast, but that shit got instilled early of like, fuck, like, you know, they pressing 18, like, you need to, like, it wasn't no get out shit, but it's just like, nah, this is the world of working. And I hated that shit. But that's a whole nother story.
And I was the oldest child, so I had a lot of responsibility. With my mom being just me and my sister. But my mom was a single parent, so she worked a lot at night. She would do 11 to 7 shift.
Okay.
So I was, you know.
11, third shift?
Yeah.
That always, you grew up, had a household where she gone, you holding it down.
Dinner, getting my sister ready for school.
Yeah.
Me and my sister 5 years apart. So,
so you, cooking, babysitting, and handling,
Yeah. So I wasn't studying, going to school or nothing like that. That was the farthest from my mind. But when I got my GED, I knew it was something that I needed to do. I was working at a pizza store.
Right.
I worked at a pizza store for a long time. And my mom, I don't know if I said this, but she worked, like I said, she worked third shift, but she was a CNA.
Okay.
And so she worked at nursing homes, and then she did some home care. And I said, let me get into this. I found a program called Fair Acres. Everybody in my Philly people know. You go there and they give you your CNA training and let you take the certificate test.
Right.
And you have to get them a year commitment to work. Well, I went and took the test and I left and I went in to an agency and I started doing home care. And I think I was 19.
Okay. So some of that just came from seeing your mom do it.
Right.
And you was like, I could do this. Yeah. But you was already home caring at the crib at a low level though.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you was
already had the skills.
Yeah, conditioned to do it. So with dropping out though, I mean, I don't want to tap into too much, but it just sounded like you didn't have like no type of self-doubt. Like you was committed, like, man, fuck this shit. I'm about to, like, y'all can do this history book shit.
Yeah. I pretty much, that was the case. I just wasn't, I don't want to say that I was confident that I knew I wasn't going to be in the struggle. I was good with being in the struggle. I come from the struggle. Right. You know what I'm saying? Struggle was nothing to me. So I'm just going to do what I got to do to get where I need to go. So, and I knew that was going to take work. And I ain't had time to waste it going to third and fourth period. You know, I got to get it now. So
waste the hours at school.
Yeah. Oh, and this is not my advice to children, but I'm just saying this is the route that I took.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to have a clear cut way now if you really want to do that now, but you had a game plan, which shit, when I was a junior, it was no way I was thinking of that shit.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't no lazy nigga, but I just was like, drop out. Like that shit was just, I don't know. I'm thinking now, like, damn, if I could have dropped out. But yeah, so okay, so you get into being an RN. How did you get to Atlanta?
So in 2010 of February, my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer. And went through her chemo treatment, and then they did, she had her chemo, and she ended up, they did her scans, and they said everything was clear. And they had her set up to go get new breasts and everything put in. We came down here on a trip for, I believe it was Thanksgiving. See, I have family who had already started migrating down here. My mom has 3 sisters.
Okay.
And 3 of her sisters had already moved down here by this time. And so we came down for Thanksgiving because we're a real close, tight-knit family.
Right.
And we came to celebrate. And my mom, she wasn't feeling well. She kept complaining of headaches. And we got her back home, took her to the hospital, and they found out that the cancer had spread to her brain. And she had stopped talking. She couldn't form, words and sentences and stuff like that. So that was a year to the date. February 2011, she died from her cancer. And at this point, I was renting. My stepdad, he owned houses. And me and my sister had moved into one of the houses that he had. And every night is shooting. You wake up, I don't know if I can say that, but niggas on the corner drinking, it's a speakeasy. We call it a speakeasy across the street where they sell liquor outside the house.
Yeah.
So the speakeasy popping all night. They got the music playing all night. I'm going to the bathroom. They shooting. I'm falling off the toilet to not get shot. I got my girlfriends, they coming over, we chilling, we smoking weed all day, hanging on the step, and it was like, no, I ain't trying to do this. Like, I gotta figure some other shit out. And so I told my sister, I said, we out. We gonna move to Atlanta. I ain't had no plan. I ain't had no money saved up. I ain't had nothing. A couple of my mom friends and family members, they kind of got word that we were trying to move, and they gave us some money. My stepdad helped us out a lot, got us a truck. And I flew down a week before we was due to move and came to look at some apartments. And I found me and my sister a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in Lithonia.
Yeah.
So a week later, me and her got in the car, drove down with all our stuff, and my niece that just left, she was only 3 years old at the time. We got in the car and we drove down here.
So you didn't have no job set up or nothing at all?
No. I used to do taxes.
Okay.
I'm a hustler. Look,
okay.
I did it all. I used to do taxes. And so I would take the taxes, and I saved up that money from that tax year. I moved down here in 2011. So I was doing taxes 2010. 2011, I moved down here in August. I had a couple stacks saved up. I was trying to look for jobs, but at the time, my CNA didn't transfer over to Georgia. You got to be licensed in the state where you're trying to work at.
Exactly.
And so I had to go through that process, and wasn't no jobs fighting. And so came down here, November, December came, I started back doing taxes. And by March of 2012, I had a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but obviously you still have to strive to get that certification in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
So was that difficult?
It wasn't difficult. I sent over the documents. I had to get my license and stuff changed over. Sending proof that I'm a resident here, and it was good. So, it was just hard trying to get into. With my CNA, I did a lot of home care. I didn't work in facilities, and so I didn't have a car down here. And Georgia, you need a car. Facts. So I was busting it up. Yeah. So I couldn't do home care down here. So I started applying to assisted living facilities. And I'm sure they were overlooking me because I never worked in that type of place before, But look, I just prayed, and I got a phone call in March, and March is my mom's birthday month. So I got a phone call. I went down to Lenox Road, Sunrise. Yep. Started working there. Clutch. Met my husband.
Shout out to Frank. Man, yeah, I mean, because it just sounded like you was just super relentless, that, because that's how, you remember I had to crash at y'all place when I first came here, and it was like, I thank y'all for that, because it turned into by any means, like, didn't want to go back to Ohio. Right. But I just knew, like, I mean, to me, like, not to get all deep with it, but whether it's God, the universe, I get a feeling of like, man, I gotta stick through this shit.
Right. You gotta see it through.
Yeah, because you can get so discouraged quickly. Like you said, you down here, It's just when that hustler mind state kick in.
Nothing. I'm talking about I'm getting my lights about to get cut off. They asking me where my rent at. You know what I'm saying? Just all types of stuff. My license was suspended. I owe Philly thousands of dollars. Yeah. So I couldn't get no license when I came down here. Tough. So, you know.
I respect it. I love it.
Yeah.
So when did so you grinded it out, you finally got the blessing of the job call. So how long in between did it take from you to be at the assisted
living?
Yeah, to
RN.
Hold on, what?
I was CNA.
Oh, okay, bet. So okay. Damn,
that's a nursing assistant.
Yeah. So then you become an RN, because I know that's like, ain't it like a test you gotta take and like
for RN?
Yeah. Like
I had to go back to college.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay, my homegirl going through
University.
So maybe she my homegirl do that, but I think she was saying she was going to school. Damn. So you had to. How long was college then?
4 years I did. Yeah.
Game changer though.
Game changer. And I really, if I could be honest with you, if I can look back to 2012 when I was working at Sunrise, I didn't really have a goal, I don't think, like where I was like, okay, I'm about to go be a nurse. You know what I'm saying? I was fine in my position as long as it was paying my bills, and, you know, I didn't have any children or nothing like that. So I was okay with, you know, making ends meet. Yeah. You know, I'm used to that, making ends meet. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really trying to push for nothing further. However, Georgia was a wake-up call for me. And my husband noticed too. Like I told him, growing up where I grew up at, we didn't deal with white people.
Right.
We didn't have white people in our neighborhood. The only people we seen that was white was either police or teachers.
Mailmans or some shit.
Not even a mailman. It was black. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to go in that environment, here I am, somebody very vocal from up north, you know, and they really gave me a hard time.
Yeah.
They gave me a hard time and was really trying to, it was insulting. They was lying on me. You know, a position had came up where you needed to be a CNA. It was a med tech where you can pass medications. And we had nobody. And Donnell, he wasn't my husband at the time, he was coming in extra to fill in the shifts. They literally had nobody. And I was like, oh, I'm applying for this position. You know, I meet the qualifications.
Yeah.
They said, no, I can't get it. They made up I was being late to work, or I had tattoos everywhere.
So they were just finding any reason.
Yeah. And so at that point, I said, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. It's time to boss up. So
I was like, shit, I gotta get this RN shit.
Yeah. And so, but if honestly, what really got me going, my middle daughter, who's 7 now, she'll be 8 next weekend. She was born early. I went into labor with her, and she had to stay in the NICU because she wasn't feeding, so she had to get a feeding tube. She had to stay under the light. I had a 1-year-old at home already. Mm-hmm. They discharged me from the hospital, but they keeping her. I'm stressing out. And they kept telling me, well, she could come home next week. Then something happened. Oh, she could come home next week. So we was coming up there every day, and the nurse finally said, look, Mom, she said, you want to get her home? I said, yeah, I don't understand it. You know, I'm seeing babies leaving that got heart conditions. You know, y'all telling me it's just a matter of her not eating, and you know, it's stuff that can be maintained at home.
Right.
And so she said, look, bring her some stuff from home. We're going to get her in the clothes. I'm going to talk to them and see if we can get you to room in with her, because she wasn't keeping her body temperature. And I said, I would really appreciate that. And then she told me, I said, where are you from? What's your name? She told me her name. She said, oh, I'm from Alabama. She said, I'm a travel nurse. I've never heard of that prior to me talking to her.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, you travel all the way from Alabama? She said, yeah, because I love what I do. And I said, oh. So I came up the next day. I had all my bag to stay the night with my daughter. And she put the clothes on her that I brought from home. And she decorated her little crib thing that she was staying in. And I was like, it just made me feel so good. I said, I got that. I can do that to people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I make people feel good. This is what I'm trying to do. And so got my daughter home. By that August, my daughter was born in May. August, I signed up for school.
Clutch. So just from your curiosity and just talking to people and talking to her, she just told you that she put you on game that you never even heard of being a travel nurse.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it. And I said, I got these babies. I can't be sitting here like I gotta boss up for my kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to know the struggle like I know the struggle. Exactly. You know? Exactly. So that was my motivation.
Through all of that process, you know, from realizing you wanted to leave Philly and coming down here and then just realizing the bottom where you was at, besides your hustler mind state, what do you think is the biggest characteristic that you gained or the biggest lesson you learned from all of that time of like going through that stuff?
I'm gonna tell you one thing that really, after my mom passed, I learned that I had to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, and I can't depend on nobody. That's a crazy feeling. The person who I had, that was my person who I know, good, wrong, right, or indifferent, was gone. You know what I'm saying? And now here I am by myself, and I got to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I always was shy. I was always quiet. And my mom used to be like, hey, you need to speak up for yourself. I'm telling you, you need to speak up for yourself. You need to speak up for yourself. 2 things, my mom: speak up for yourself and make sure you and your sisters stick together. Them the 2 things that my mom always embedded in us. Yeah. And so when she was gone, I just subconsciously stepped into that role, and everything that she told me, it was like, oh shit, I get it now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I see what she was meaning. I see what she meant. You know what I'm saying? All these folks and all these people who was at the funeral and was there and said, oh, we're going to help y'all. It's 3 months down the line. Here it is. Me and my sister just looking each other in our face, trying to figure out what we're going to do. Yeah. You know? So.
And that, like, condolences too, because.
Thank you.
I lost my grandma, and it's just a crazy thing because you don't think that happened or you lose them so soon or whatever.
Right.
And especially when it's like my mom too, but you know, just you got that connection to somebody, then you said like you kind of feel like you on your own.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to dip into like fuck life. Mm-hmm. Like it's a thin line that's just like, man, like ain't no fucking way to see it through when everything is just looking scrambled. So I respect that a lot about you, because that's, you know, it sounds cliche, but that's like started from the bottom shit. But nobody realizes the in between shit. That
they don't get it. Yeah, they don't get it.
You can really say fuck life, fuck everything. Yeah. You know, a feeling of depression.
Yeah.
That shit can run. Yeah. But yeah, so condolences to your mom on that.
Thank you.
So with the getting into the traveling nurse, what was your first gig of traveling, and just tell me that experience when you actually got into like doing traveling.
Okay, so I graduated nursing school May 2018. Okay, I didn't know what type of nurse I wanted to be. I honestly thought I was going to do labor and delivery, L&D. But I was like, I can't be in between girls' legs all day. So that's not something I'm into. Right. So I started just applying, and I got a couple job offers, right? I started going on interviews, and they were so impressed with my grades. By the way, I need to step back a little bit. My 3rd semester of nursing school, I found I was pregnant. And my youngest daughter, Blessing, was due. I was due to go into labor the day before I went back to school. And you can't miss, this is my final semester now. Right. I can't miss it. I can't drop out. I can't.
Yeah, I can stop it. Shit. But nah, y'all be stressing like.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Studying and having to.
I'm telling you. And I had, at that point, my first 3 semesters of nursing school, I had a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. And then I got pregnant with my youngest baby in my 3rd semester. Nobody knew I was pregnant. I didn't tell anybody. And my 4th semester, they said, oh, well, she's going to be coming. I said, no. I start school August. This is the date, the 13th.
Right.
And I told the doctor, I said, we either got to do something early or something. I told my husband, I said, you have to put me in a wheelchair 2 days after I had this baby and wheel me in there. I'm going to class. Yeah. I'm not going to, because it would have set me back a whole year. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I can't, time ain't waiting for nobody. I'm in school with young kids. They 19, 20. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to be 30, you know? So I ended up taking a position as an ER nurse in Southern Regional, and shout out to Southern Regional. It's my foundation as a nurse in Riverdale, Georgia. And I fell in love with ER, you know?
So what you call it? L&D?
Labor and delivery.
So that was cool on that.
Cool on that.
So then you got it. So the actual position you guys working in the ER.
Yes. Okay. I'm an ER trauma nurse. And now I do ICU too. Intensive care. I do critical care. So okay, but so basically either after having your child, you still walk through that shit. Oh yeah. How many days after? I think I was a week, right? And I had a C-section. So I was cut open. I was going with my stitches still in. But
would you like any pain at all still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So man, your mind state for that.
Yeah.
Like I can barely shoot a video with a toothache, let you alone. Fucking stitches on the down for real. Like that shit is that's just a whole different level of mentality to like you driven, like, nah, this shit. I mean, at the same time, it's like, you work so hard to get to it, and then it would have set you back. I'm going to tell
you the way I always put it, and this is what I tell people. I didn't have an option to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly, yeah.
It was no option, so I had to do what I had to do. It was no other option.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the partner that this was there. Yeah. Getting it through. Because I know it had to be some slight arguments or some.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
nigga this, nigga that.
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
But it's all for the best, though.
Yeah.
Nah, that's clutch. So what?
So travel nursing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where the furthest you traveled to, though?
The first place that I traveled to was a place called Fairview Park in Dublin, Georgia.
So you just stay in Georgia traveling with it?
No.
Oh.
You said the first place I traveled to.
I said the furthest.
Oh, the furthest.
The first place is cool, too.
Okay. I'm sorry. The furthest I've traveled nurse, California. I just came home March the 1st from LA.
Word.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I was at a Kaiser out there.
Okay.
And shout out to them, too, because they was real nice.
How long was you out there?
I was out there from January, 2 months.
So with that, like, and I'm just comparing it off of like me hearing my homegirl, because she was in Long Beach. I think she in Houston now or something. So, but she don't got no kids or nothing. So with you doing that, and then you be having to be away from your children, how you handle that?
Go home. I clock out, go to my hotel and cry all night. No, I'm only playing. No.
I better say, like, that shit got deep. Like, no FaceTime?
No. It's hard, but what honestly makes it better is my husband is awesome. Yeah, I have no worries.
Nah, he a beast. Yeah,
I have no worries. Anything I can do, he can do. Yeah. You know, so he hold it down. He take care. I mean, look, we a team. So he makes sure do what it do. And I mean, even though I'm out of state or whatever, like I said, we FaceTime, we call, we do homework, you know, all different types of stuff. I send them gifts. They like that. Yeah. You know, I'm always sending packages in the mail. So
your mother presence is still there regardless. Yeah. Whether it's FaceTime or you said sending gifts and everything like that. Yeah. And get that good embracement when you walk back in the door.
Yeah. And I like it because my last assignment ended March 1st. And I've been out of work since, you know, so I could be home with them every day. You know.
Oh, so your break times is like.
Oh, I could take a break for as long as I want.
Word.
Yeah.
Man, that's clutch. Okay, because I just be curious, like I said, with traveling and getting homesick, like. Cause,
I definitely get homesick. Yeah. It takes me like 3 days to like eat. You know, my stomach get upset. I get nauseous. I mean, just sadness set in. Mm-hmm. I'm in an environment I'm not familiar with. People I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Like new coworkers,
new doctors. Don't know how they going to perceive me or who I am or how I am.
So you got to readjust every time.
Every time.
That can get annoying. Time. Yeah.
And it's bad.
New overhead, overseeing shit.
Yep. Yep. Already passing judgment on you because you're a traveler.
Right.
I mean, that stigma goes with us everywhere we go.
That? What judgment comes from that?
Well, because they look at it like you just in it for the money, because you're traveling.
Right, the traveling experience.
I always get, oh, you don't have kids? Oh, well, how you do with your kid? I'm like,
wouldn't matter.
I got kids. They have a father. They're with their dad.
Like my shit in line over here.
The best thing my girlfriend said was, we don't question men when they go into the army and they leave their families,
Thanks.
Or, but when it's a woman, it's like we have this stigma where we're supposed to be in the house, cooking dinner, doing the laundry, all this.
2022.
2022, baby.
That's why, because as a male, we never experienced that, like, at that caliber. Y'all still going through shit that was over 100 years of, like, you're supposed to do this and that. Like, and you far from a house, like sit in the crib and do what?
No. I mean, I've done it, but a blessing was when I was in nursing school, my husband was able to hold everything down. So he took the stress away from me from having to work and things like that. So I was able to go to school, take care of my kids, full time without any issues. And I really, really thank him for that because it's people I know that's what hold them back. They don't have that support system, for somebody to be there with them or with their kids or whatever like that. And, when I finished nursing school and I told my husband, he told me, congratulations, baby, did I said, no, we did it, And I told him, my husband, no, I give him the world. He ain't got to do nothing. I made it for us.
Definitely. Man, and I don't want to go on to like how you think it would have been with no support system, but do you think that you would have still figured it out by any means if you didn't have him helping you through it all?
I'd have figured it out.
I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear it.
I'd have figured it out. Yeah. I would have.
Okay, so let's tap into the home care agency. Which is
Shellys Right Choice Home Care.
Yeah.
1731 Highway 42 McDonough.
Say that.
We are hiring and we accept new clients on a daily basis. Check us out.
So, what do y'all do here?
So, what we do is we provide non-medical home care services. So I have my CNAs, my PCAs, my HSAs, whatever they go by.
Right.
I hire them, I put them through training, and I send them out to my clients' homes. So my clients will reach out to me and say, hey, Daddy broke his leg. He can't get around in the house. We need help. He needs to go to the bathroom. He needs to get washed. So what I do is I go out, I meet the family. I do a home assessment, make sure it's safe, and I line them up. I send my girls out or my guys, whichever one, and they got a job. Yeah.
So I would like to know, being in a position of essentially you just trying to hire people to really do the job how you would do it. I got a team now. Shout out to my team, First Head Academy. But I just got a team recently, maybe like less than a year ago, to where, okay, I can go and send some shooters out if I'm not in town or wherever the case is. And I'm like, okay, y'all go handle this. But it's so fucking difficult to really find people who would, it's your brand and your name that you send out there.
Right.
So what's the process of just making sure you get the right people? Because on paper, it can look all, okay, this is the right person, but they might do some fuck shit. Yeah. So what's the process of how you make sure your brand is secure when you hire these people?
If I could be honest with you as a business owner, there's no way. There is no way. The only way, you got to hire them, you got to let them go out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have faith that you as the owner or whatever your position is in the company, that your reputation that you already built stands firm.
Exactly.
So if you do send them out and they do whatever the case may be, they know that's not your norm. So, it's going to be bad seeds, bad apples in the bunch, whatever, you want to call them. It's no way, like you said, everything on paper looks good, but then they go to a client house and the client saying, oh, it was on their phone all day. They didn't ask me if I was okay. I didn't get nothing to eat,
Yeah.
But what I try to do is build a great relationship with my clients. They know they got my number. They can call me if it's an issue. They know I'll pull up any second.
Yeah.
And I will go and I send them home in a heartbeat.
That managerial.
I will send them home and I will go and I will work it myself, So, but I try to, I don't know if you want to call me a softie. I try not to be so hard on my workers, I'm a person of second chances, because I at once in my life, I was a fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I did things, I didn't quit jobs, or then I realized I needed the bag, especially with the young people. They just all about having fun, So my biggest thing is I try to stress to them is, look, communication. Talk to me, let me know what it is. And I always, in my interview, I say, if you rock with me, I rock with you.
Clearly.
And that's all I need.
That was some of my best jobs that I had when I had them like this. When you set the atmosphere to be, it's cool.
Yep.
It's cool until you make it fucked up.
Yep.
And my few jobs that I had was really like that, and it sets the tone.
Yep, it sets the tone.
Yeah, it makes them comfortable.
Yep.
If they do feel like they fucked up, then they'll, besides sweeping on the rug. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the second chance mindset that you got, I feel like that probably came from when you got some of your chances.
Yeah.
You can't even forget that.
You can't forget it.
I just remember when people I got expelled from college one time, which is so crazy to say out loud. But they gave me a second chance, and that shit just like, you can't forget it, but at the same time, you can't fuck it up when it's given to you. So you wanted to touch real quick. I'll just ask you about, second chances, and then you got a story, or experience.
Yeah.
So what did that spark when I mentioned second chances?
Okay, so in 2011, this is after my mom died, right? I was doing a little home care. By the way, so my mom died. She didn't have any assets or anything like that. No money
nothing
put away.
Nothing
to pass down.
Right.
She had 2 cars, 2 vans, 2 old vans. One I got stuck on Roosevelt Boulevard. It broke down, the engine went, and then was left with another one. And so I was riding that one around. And I said, I need some more money than what I'm getting. I got my sister now. I got my niece.
Mm-hmm.
I got bills I have to pay. So guy that I knew, I told him, I was like, look, I need something. I said, no. I said, seriously, it can't be that hard. I done seen it. You know what I'm saying? I done dated guys who dealt drugs.
Yeah.
I've been around it my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? I know how to break it down, bag it up, So I told him, I said, so he said, all right, I got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. So I drove over there, me and my girlfriend, Internet. Shout out to my bestie, Auntie. Drove over there, picked it up. I picked him up because we had to get the bags from the store. And I wasn't comfortable going in there asking, for the whatever, the 12 by 12, whatever they call them. Okay.
Man.
So he went in there, got the bags for me. So he was like, me, I'm not about to let you touch this. Like, I'll bag it up for you. Okay. So went back to my house.
Nice dealer.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a way to get on.
Yeah. So went back to my house or whatever. He bagged it up for me, dimes. I don't even want to talk about past relationships, but at this time I was in a relationship and he was in jail. And so he left me his cell phone popping.
Rolling.
They calling.
So you got right back in.
Right.
Well, not back in, but.
Right.
Yeah.
I already had the system, set up.
It was right there.
It was set up.
You just needed the product.
And then I got my brother. I have a brother that comes from my stepdad, Jermaine. He came and I took over custody of him. So now here I am at, how old was I? 24. I got my sister who's 18, my niece who's 3, and my brother who's in middle school. This is all who I'm taking care of. And he was like, okay. He begged me up some dimes. And my ex called from jail, and I told him, I said, look, I got, he said, you serious? I said, yeah. He said, all right, bet then. Just answer the phone. You know, he told me which ones. Like, look, you can play with him. You can play with him. Tell him come to the house, you know, whatever. So that's what I started doing. I'm calling. I mean, they calling. I give them, you know, tell them to pull up Dover Street. That's where I was living in North Philly. Busting traps. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay. So anyway, I goes back down there to get some more. Okay. I got my stepbrother in the car. This is another stepbrother. This is from my dad's, my biological dad, wife's son. He said, can you drop me off to the train station? Right? I went to go pick up the work. Right. And the guy who I was dealing with, he said, Kyisha, he said, they call me Kai. Kai, go straight home. Don't make no stops. Don't get no McDonald's. Don't do that. Go straight home. I said, cool. I riding down 60th Street. I see my brother. He said, hey, can you give me a ride to the train? I said, all right, hop in.
But you supposed to go straight home.
I was about to go straight home.
Right.
He hop in. I take him down to 56th and Market. We at 60th Street. Only 4 blocks up the street. We ride up the street. Hop behind me. I see him. He running my tags. I'm nervous as hell. He throwing the sirens. I pull over.
That drop.
Yes. So my brother was like, it's cool. Just, we good. You know, just whatever. He said, everything good on the car. I think my stickers I had fake stickers. I was riding around with fake stickers. And so he was like, we good. You know, they give us a ticket or whatever like that. So I looked at him. I said, I got some shit on me. So he was like, what?
Yeah.
He said, are you serious? I said, yeah. So he was like, no. I said, I'm dead ass. I done took a cigarette. I'm lighting a cigarette. I'm nervous. I'm like, they gonna see I'm nervous. I'm sweating. I'm shaking, everything. So the cop didn't get out the car yet. So he was like, where is it at? I said, it's in my underwear. He said, give it to me. I said, no. Because he just came, he was on probation. So I said, no. He said, bro, we not about to do this. Get this shit to me right now. I dug in my underwear. I handed it to him. He dug and put it in his underwear. The cop came up to the car. He said, put that cigarette out. Put the cigarette out. You got license and registration. I handed him the license and registration. So he like, you know, what you was doing today? I said, look, I'm just rolled down here to drop my brother off at the train station. He about to go home. He live in Upper Darby. So my brother was like, yeah, I'll just try and go home. You know, she dropped this train station. I ain't trying to miss my train. I got to get to this and the third. So the cop said, all right, you can go, but we taking this car, right? I said, you can have a car, period. Right?
Yeah, like, so that's the least amount.
Yeah. Right? So he had me get out. He said the car is going to be at the impound lot. I could pick it up, this, and the third. I wasn't studying none of that, okay? I said, take whatever the car. Look, me and him, we did.
Yeah, we walked.
So I honestly believe that moment right there, that was God telling me, Kyisha, you out here tripping.
Drop that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't need to do that. You know? So I felt like that was my second chance. That was my awakening. To be like, look who you surrounded yourself with. Look what you doing. You know what I'm saying? You got more potential in you than this. You had to really get your life together, because what a lot of people don't realize, and I used to be a heavy, heavy weed smoker. I would get up in the morning. What I did, go to the poppy store, go get me a pack of cigarettes, go get me some weed, go get me a hoagie. Okay, that was my day. Stood on the steps. Whoever called me, they pulling up. We sit out there, we chill, we smoke. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Falling into a deep depression. And I'm like, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. Like, you got way more potential than this, you know? And so I feel like that was my God giving me my second chance. Like, I could have just booked you. You could have been up on State Road. You could have been in Pick. You understand what I'm saying? That's our state jail or whatever. I'm like, no, I got to get my life together. Yeah. This ain't it, you know?
Yeah. And then your knowledge of, like, not ignoring that, because obviously you did it in a need for more money and everything.
Right.
And, you know, patience and persistence. Like, sometimes you got to take the stairs and not the elevator.
Yep.
Like that's really what it is. So yeah, so for you to acknowledge that second chance, you know, like being able to avoid shit like that, like that's super fucking wake up call.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm with when I get people who apply for jobs, I don't put strict. It would be nice to have people, oh, I got experience. I've been doing this 10, 15 years. I know this and I know that. And I'm like, I'm the one that's like, no, give me the one that don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let me teach them. Let me train them. Let me build them up. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you your capabilities. Like, I've been where you at. Like, sis, you can do this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I tell them all, I can show you the game. You know what I'm saying? This ain't just about you going to go work no client. You know what I'm saying? If you really tap into me, I can give you a whole lot. And it's not from a cocky standpoint. It's from a confident standpoint.
Your experience.
Yes. So that's what I really try to do. I really try to motivate them. I try to build them up. And I don't shortchange them either. You know what I'm saying? I meet people, they say, oh, I was getting $10 an hour no, sis, we ain't giving you $10 an hour. What's that's going to do?
To get you right,
You know what I'm saying? You done told me you got kids, you got this, you got that. You know what I'm saying? I know the struggle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you got a helping hand now. Ain't nobody there to help you or say, can I do this or can I do that? No, they looking at you like, look, you grown. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And when I have people talking to me like that or like in bed like that type of mentality into me, for you to do that for them, that's some shit that they'll never forget.
Right.
Like if they apply it to them, but they apply it in the way that they're supposed to.
Right.
Really, like, because you got dumbasses out here that think they know it all.
Yeah.
Even when they don't know shit.
Yep.
But when it click, it's like, okay, like that, what you doing for them is going, it's going to be a staple to them. Like, I remember when she told me this years later. I got shit that stuck in me 10 years ago. Yeah.
I hope so, because I got people in my life that's like that. And I thank God for them. So, and hey, I mean,
it's only going up.
It's only going up. It's only going up. And I tell you, the travel nursing, I seen so much. Like places I never thought I would go, places I never thought I would see,
People to meet.
I'm walking across the street in damn El Paso, everybody Mexican. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only black girl out there. So it's like, I'm looking over to Mexico, so I'm saying here like, okay, Kyisha from West Philly, who was living in the trenches in 2011, here I am in 2020 in El Paso, and I'm making bands. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing the world, meeting new people,
and doing what you love.
And doing what I love.
Ain't no better feeling.
Yep. Ain't no better feeling in the world. It's not. It's not.
So what's the future for the company? You?
Goodness gracious. If I could tell you the whole future, we'd be here all night. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I am a person who I think. Matter of fact, look, I got a yellow tab right over there sitting with a whole list of stuff that I can do in the next week to be beneficial, you know. So, but my goal is, with Shellys Right Choice, is to lock down the South Side. That's my goal. I'm locking down the South Side. I need these people to see that home care is the way to go. I done did hospital. I done did assisted living. I done did nursing home. These people don't realize that these people who run these big companies and these big agencies, you're just a number.
They don't
care.
What
I'm saying?
Yo,
they don't care.
Man, my grandma, before she passed, she went into a diabetic coma. Oh. And, she just wasn't herself. Right. And I remember they was trying to put her in a nursing home. And my mom was like, man, y'all gonna let her die in 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my mom ended up, we just turned the house into a whole.
Right.
We change the shifts. Okay, who's gonna be staying up throughout the night?
Right.
Because she was just so adamant. Shout out to my moms for that too, because it was tough to do that for her mom.
Yeah.
Her mom. But that's when I called whenever, damn, nursing homes. Even when she was in one, it was y'all ain't change her.
Right.
Like, y'all, you know what I mean? It just was like the craziest shit.
Always. So I just like my clients to know that if you join Shellys Right Choice, whether it's for you, your loved one, that we going to take real good care of you. I call it, we treat you the Shellys way. And by the way, Shelley Wright is my mom. Because I get a lot of people like, oh, Shelly, no. But that's my mom. And we making it happen. You know, we just got a deal, an endorsement with Kroger. So we about to be in Kroger. They promoting us and supporting us.
Yeah.
The Kroger on Jonesboro Road in McDonough. So we just been having a lot of things going on with that. And then I also started, like I said, a nonprofit agency. And what I'm trying to do with that is some homes for veterans, senior living communities where I can get a house and put like 8 or 10 of them in there, have somebody make sure they're getting fed, clothes to their doctor's appointments. We got to do right by us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We don't get treated right at all, even when we in the hospital. You know, it's like we still at the bottom, you know, so we need us in these roles, you know, to be able to support our seniors that's aging and letting them know, hey, we got your back, you know, and it's a financial strain for them. And that's why I always tell them, you know, let me know what your budget is, what you can work with, you know,
figure it out.
I ain't going to leave you alone, you know, so that's my,
everybody get the same level treatment.
Yes.
Period.
Everybody get the same level across the board.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Okay. So, before we wrap up, this is what I ask everybody, but you said a lot of them during this, but what's a good quote or piece of advice that you live off of?
A good quote or a piece of advice. I would say my biggest thing is no bullshit, no slouching. It's no excuses why you can't go out here and get it. You know, it's too many ways, too many avenues. So miss me with the excuses. Hard work and dedication. That's what pays off. You gotta be a hard worker and be dedicated. Yeah. Man.
Well, I appreciate you for being transparent on here, talking about what we talked about, and you actually helping my platform to reach out to more people because I want them to know too. You know, me and Preen was just talking, and it's just like when we develop who we are and get to this state, like this professionalism, it's easy for us to be able to connect no matter what field we do. Because I do music videos, photography.
Right.
You do this, but we're able to still connect because you go through the same shit no matter what. Yeah. So I just want people to know that, and you know, just to show the diversity. Like shit, everybody got a dream, but it's shit you got to go through. To obtain it and work for it.
And can't nobody go through it but you.
Exactly.
You gotta work it.
And
you gotta work it. No shortcuts.
So I appreciate you. Make sure y'all tap in. The logo is there. The name is there. Dreamers Welcome Podcast. Keep dreaming. We out.
Yeah. And check us out on our website, www.shellysagency.com.
Shellysagency.com.
Yes.
I'm tagging all that shit in on the video.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dreamers Welcome Podcast.